He stood by the doorway, the cool evening wind brushing against his face. Inside, she sat on the couch, her eyes red and glistening, her hands trembling as she tried to hold back her tears. The house was quiet, except for the faint ticking of the clock on the wall. Every second felt heavy, pulling him closer to a decision he didn't want to make. His bag was already packed. He had already said goodbye in his heart, but something held him back. He knew how much she had been through. Life hadn't been kind to her, and he'd seen her fight every single day for her job, for her dignity, and for her little boy who adored her. He loved her too, but sometimes love just didn't feel like enough. The arguments had drowned out the laughter, and the silence between them had grown too wide to cross. Tonight felt like the end. He was ready to walk away. As he turned toward the door, a small voice stopped him. "Please don't leave my mum." He froze. It was her son, standing barefoot at the corner of the hallway, clutching a toy car. His big brown eyes were filled with tears and fear. He couldn't have been more than 6 or 7, but his voice pierced deeper than any adult's words ever could. The man turned slowly. The boy's lower lip quivered as he took a step forward. "She cries when you're not here," he whispered. "She tries to hide it, but I see her. I just want her to smile again." The man's heart ached. The boy's words were so pure, so real, they broke through all the anger and confusion he had built up inside. He looked back at the woman on the couch. Her face was buried in her hands now, her shoulders shaking with sobs. He had told himself that walking away was the right thing to do, that maybe she would be better off. But seeing that little boy's face changed everything. This wasn't just about 2 adults anymore. This was a child caught in the middle, a child who saw him as someone who made his world a little brighter. He remembered helping the boy with homework, afternoons at the park, and the 3 of them laughing while cooking dinner. Those weren't just moments, they were pieces of a family. Slowly, he set down his bag. The boy's eyes widened with hope. He walked over, knelt down, and placed a hand on the child's shoulder. "Hey," he said softly, "I'm not going anywhere, okay?" The boy's face lit up, and it was as if the whole world sighed in relief. The woman on the couch looked up, her expression shifting from despair to disbelief. She had expected him to leave, just like everyone else had before. But he didn't. He walked over and sat beside her, taking her hand. No apologies, no promises, just a heavy but healing silence. Sometimes staying says more than any words ever could. That night, they didn't fix everything. The pain wouldn't vanish overnight, but something had changed. The boy's small plea reminded them of what was truly important, not pride or fear, but love in its simplest and most selfless form. Days turned into weeks. Things weren't perfect, but they tried. He made breakfast more often, stayed home longer, and found reasons to smile again. She began to open up, to trust again. And every evening, when the boy would come running into his arms, he knew he had made the right choice. Sometimes it takes the smallest voice to make the biggest difference. That night could have ended with broken hearts, but instead it became a new beginning. He realized that love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up even when it's hard. It's about choosing to stay, not because it's easy, but because it matters. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe for more content that makes you think and feel.